The turret hits Twisted Fate, I hit him with a cleaver, and then go for him with the exhaust just to make sure he won't get away. I really didn't want him to live through this. And then I run out so I don't die. Morgana hits a great Dark Binding, and then another fantastic ultimate that ends up snapping on Shin, allowing us to get that kill. And we also finish off Vladimir here as well. So that was just a bad call on the enemy part for sticking around as long as they did. And if you see, they actually didn't even get our tower. So they basically lost 4 people for nothing. They took our tower down, but we still have it. So it really didn't mean anything to us. And this will be another 2-tower run for our team. This is one of the advantages of playing with Dr. Mundo, is that he takes towers really well early and late game. And coupled with a teammate like Sion, we can really put a beat down on these. Ramus realizes he can't do anything there. Now at this point I feel like we're about one good team fight away from starting to take their base towers and inhibitors and really pushing the game in our favor. At this point I realize that I just need a little more gold for my Phantom Dancer, so I go down here to race Morgana for these quick and easy creep kills. And here I'm just doing a general patrol just to see where they are, and lo and behold, they are at Dragon. When everybody's missing on the map like that, it's always a good idea, of course, to trek Dragon or Baron. In this case, I didn't feel like they had the advantage to take Baron, so I just did a quick Dragon check, and that's where they were. Now I get to go back and build my Phantom Dancer and possibly buy a ward with any leftover money I have. And there was a great ult by Morgana right here that ends up snapping on 3 out of their 4 teammates. I get a cleaver on one, a quick crit on the other to kill Corki, and we basically just clean house here with an ace.
An enemy has been slain.
Now we did a 5-for-1 trade there, which is, at this point in the game, that's pretty much it. Whenever you win a massive team fight like that, as you'll see here, we're going to melt this tower and also take the inhib before going back to base. If we had a few more creeps here, I feel like we probably could have won the game just by ignoring the enemy champions and taking out the base towers, but I guess we'll never know. You can see I just used Mundo's ultimate there to get out of the way. It's a really good use for his ultimate if you have full life and you're just looking for like a quick escape. It doesn't make you run as fast as, say, a Ghost, but it is a significant speed boost, and it does increase with each level you put into it. It's always useful when a character has an ultimate like that that really has a lot of use across the board. It's not really that specific. It can be used for regenerative properties. It can be used to bait the enemy team into thinking you're weak, and it's a great escape tool as well, and a chase tool if you're looking to get a kill. Again, the applications of Cleaver as a deterrent. I throw that cleaver because it looks like Shen is going to dash over the wall there, but it turns out he can't dash over any wall, so I'm not really sure what that was all about. He could have got away there probably, but didn't.
An enemy has been slain.
And during that little Shen fight where he was running away, you can also see the great application of Phantom Dancer with Mundo. I was able to hit their tank character for about 400, a hit, which is really great damage against a character like that.
Unstoppable.
Here I'm just going to get a green potion really quick before I head down because I get the feeling like there's going to be one more big team fight before we really push through for the victory, and so I want to be at the top of my game for that. And so I pick up the green elixir and I head down. And here our team is able to take the bottom inhibitor from our previous push where Wolf soloed that tower. We don't have control of dragon, so I go down here to check to make sure that the dragon is or isn't there. It's not, so I head back to group up with my team. At this stage of the game, Mundo doesn't really have need for any of the jungle buffs, especially the blue. So I let Warwick have that, and later on I also let him take the red buff as well. See, I just kite the lizard around here so Warwick can get the red buff because it's a lot more useful on him than it is on me. Now I have my eye on Guardian Angel as my last item, just because I feel like if I were to die early in a team fight, I could come back and clean up. And it's just a great all-around item, especially when they have a team that has a little bit of magic and a little bit of attack damage going for them. It's just a great all-around item. So now we're getting in position to take their top tower so we can start our final push into their base by taking all their inhibs. I feel like it's really unnecessary and we probably just could have pushed down the middle anyways, but we decided to get involved in a team fight here regardless. Of course I'm a turret magnet, so I get hit a couple times there. Rammus gets a good ball off and manages to completely take Scion out of the fight. So right at the beginning we're off to a bad start. We're fighting against all odds here, 4-on-5. I ran in with my W on, started to hit people. I don't want to go into tower range yet, but I started to take some damage, so I end up falling backwards and using my ultimate to run away and to get my health back. And I can see on the other side of the wall here that Warwick is being chased by Corki, so I pop my green elixir and end up taking him out with a quick crit. Now it's important here that I lived because I'm the only person that's alive right now that has the ability to really melt this tower. So it's always a good idea to have one of your DPS champions stick around after a team fight so they can take advantage of you actually winning the fight. And that's exactly what I do. I end up taking this tower and then going down and taking the inhibitor tower for top lane. And with their team now respawning, Kassadin and Morgana simply wouldn't have been able to take the tower that fast, nor this inhibitor.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And I start to head back into their jungle right now to see if I can control their blue golem, but I see that Morgana has pushed into their base, so I decide to come help her out and see what's going on down here instead. And it turns out nothing. So right now we're gonna head back and we're gonna take Baron while we have all of their inhibitors down. It pretty much ensures that they're not gonna come out of their base to get us. So I feel like this is a really safe choice. We wait for Warwick here as he has Blood Razors. And we start attacking Baron, and we actually start damaging it at a really good clip, so it doesn't take us long to take out the Baron at this point. Here we see Twisted Fate teleport in, trying to steal the buff. I end up hitting him with the cleaver to slow him down, and our teammates run around. Kassadin teleports through the wall to chase him, and I decide to split off and go to the left so we can pull off a pinch, which ends up paying off, as you can see. And I end up chasing down Twisted Fate after I blow this really easy cleaver. But my crits are simply too much for him at this point, and he can't really escape me with my ultimate on. But that's a good example of just sort of making your actions speak louder than your words when you're in a solo game. I could have just as easily followed my team right there, and we wouldn't have got Twisted Fate because he chose a different route. But because I split up, we were able to catch him like that. And now I'll port back to base, get my Guardian Angel, and then I can stick around and destroy their base without worrying about dying. And I ended up getting a Brawler's Glove there to give me an extra 8% chance to crit, because really this is going to be the last push of the game. I won't be going back to base anymore. I had some leftover gold, so I thought, why not? Morgana with 20 stacks, always nice.
An enemy has been slain.
And I decided to just go for the towers here. There's no need to push into the champions right now. We can just simply beat on the tower and win. And just like that, the Nexus goes down, and we get the victory. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.